first carry now for Rob Kelly. And he's going to be stopped here on this first play as he gets it to the line of scrimmage and no more. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. Second down and 10. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. It's brought in by Jamison Crowder. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. 12 yards there as they move the chains. They go play action here on first down. Looking for Crowder, and it's intercepted. Rasul Douglas picks it, and the return this time will go out to the 42-yard line. Certainly not how they envisioned ending their opening drive here in the first quarter.
Too many ones in this play. First quarter, first drive, first interception thrown.
And that last one, that hurts. Yardage back near midfield at the 49. He lost 6 there on the first down play.
I think there's one element that just keeps increasing on defense in the NFL, and that's speed. They want it at every position, and we just saw there some linebackers who can go sideline to sideline, run past that trash, go past people, and make tackles near the sidelines.
And not only near the sideline, but also in the backfield there for the loss. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. Now Dalton. Got his man complete over the middle. It's Graves. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice game like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And the defense with their backs against the wall a little bit here as the offense is in the red zone. It's second down. Dalton looking. That is caught inside the 5. And stopped a few yards shy of the goal line at the 3. A nice pickup of 14, and it moves the stick, sets up a 1st and goal. This call down near the goal line. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. And that's going to be caught for an Eagles touchdown. They scored the most points of anyone on opening weekend, and now first quarter touchdown here.
And while there's no guarantee that all the points they score in opening weekend are going to hold up and be the average all year long. They're certainly starting to set that type of a pace, and what you do with that is you put in the heads of all of your opponents, we've got to really be ready on defense because these guys know how to put the ball in the end zone.
You think they can keep piling on the points like this?
I think they can if they're prepared to adjust and adapt because they won't see the same defenses week in and week out.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. So out now come the Redskins. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. This is Kelly. Even with that broken tackle, can't go very far. Stop short of the 30. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
They'll keep it in the hands of Kelly. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on third down? We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well. But when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on. 4th and short, partner. I mean, this would be a really risky call. Here we are in the first quarter.
On your own side of the field.
Own side of the field. But, boy, what a tone setter that would be to go for it and get it, wouldn't it?
You're gritty today. I like it.
I'm feeling it.
And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. That will get our first update of the afternoon for the Meadowlands. And an early advantage in that one for the Giants. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3. Of course, remember last week, week number 1, quite the opener for him. NFC Offensive Player of the Week.
And he does not want to be a flash in the pan. He wants to have that type of a game each and every week. Let's see if he can get a second award in week 2 of the season.
Possible run anticipation here as the D-line sandwiches together. On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it'll be third down. Here's Dalton. Hard throw, incomplete. So possession 1 ended in 6. Possession 2 likely going to end in a punt.
And that's okay. They just got to get back to what they worked on in the opening drive and continue to make a few adjustments along the way. It won't be exact because the defense will make a few adjustments themselves. Just get back to your game plan.
And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social. Under pressure, and he'll go down. They'll sack him on what ought to be the final play of this first quarter. Brandon Graham in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. Cousins now on second down. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Jordan Willis, he's the one to get him, and that's sack number 7 for him on the year. Cousins with work to do after the sack as he brings his guys up on a 3rd and long. In motion, the tight end Reed. 3rd and long for Cousins. Looking for his tight end Reed, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 29, and his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And he may want to track down that football because that's interception number 1 on his career.
You're saying that's going into the trophy case?
I'd put it there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. That's when you ask the equipment guys to make sure they hold it for you after the game. But if you play in the back 7 on defense, that's part of your job, finding ways to take the ball away from the other team.
Now they try the right side here. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
They'll bring a receiver in motion left. A handoff as they run the counter play. And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A great play there with touchdown number 7 on the year. And the Eagles add on to their lead. Point after now from Sturgis. And it's good to make it 14-0. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. Now a second down throw for Cousins. Crowder's got it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a pickup of 16 there, and it'll lead to a new set of downs.
Some think that teams really won't throw a slant route unless you have a receiver that has a lot of stature to him. But sometimes the little guys, they get lost in there. People can't really locate them, and they run that quick cut on the slant, and oftentimes they can turn it into big plays.
And the slot man goes in motion left. A first down throw for Cousins. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be second down.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
So the D-line's going to spread out. A second down throw for Cousins. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs. Now a play fake here on first down. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off at the 33. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
And they give this time to the tailback. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's second down.
Every year I go to the combine and marvel at the speeds that linebackers are running nowadays. They run like DBs. And let's face it, they know how to finish plays too. Eyes up, head up, run right through them.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Just a yard there, so it brings up a tough 3rd and 12.
Well, if the coaching staff's doing a good job upstairs, they'll file away what they just saw from the defense right there. They sold out to stop that running play. I'd say keep that in mind. They want to try that again. Go play action, hit them over the top.
And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Dalton sets up play action. A bullet throw, but incomplete.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here is the punter Jones as he gets this one away. Oh, look at that. That'll be put in the books as a 53-yard punt. And the Washington offense will be backed up to start this drive as they've got it 1st and 10. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, oh, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. And it drops down incomplete. Thought he might have had it. Instead, 2nd down. On 2nd down, Cousins again. And his throw here is incomplete.
The one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown them a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after them. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. The slot man in motion right. On 3rd down, Cousins ducks him with a grab over the middle. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th. Here's Tress Way now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Taken in at the 22. Around the NFL, they're into the 2nd quarter in the Meadowlands. And it's the Cowboys that have moved down to an early advantage. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. They'll run it now out of the gun. And they go backwards here, losing yardage back at the 48-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing rookies need to learn at this level, and quick, make a cut, be decisive, and go. Because in college, you could dance around and wait for a hole to open because you're probably a better athlete than most of the guys on the field, but not on the NFL level. 2nd
down, Dalton. He's going to go for a big play downfield. So the long attempt falls innocently to the ground, and it brings up third. They're going for a receiver there. Already has one touchdown in this first half. A second one not to be.
I like where their headspace is, though. I mean, I really like the thought process, right? You got a guy who's already scored one, right? You want to go back to him, continue the hot hand, and make them adjust to you defensively. I like what they were trying to get done, even though they weren't successful.
Over the middle, complete. That's Graves. The 21 yards there as they convert on third. Now they'll run it on the toss. A beautiful fake. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed, and he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And a nice little quick spin move before he's dropped. And a pretty good gain. That one good for 10 yards. And that'll bring up a second and just about a few inches here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he's in for an Eagles touchdown. A great effort there as the first half is winding down. And the Eagles add 6 to their lead. And it is now 21-0. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And some dangerous territory. You're already down 3 scores. A 3-and-out here, or an inability to put any points up. This one might be over by half.
Yeah, and what you also have to guard against is calling every play for a big shot downfield. You know, thinking you're going to get all these points back on one drive. You're not. And last time I looked, it's still the first half. I'm not saying you have ultimate patience here, but you also don't have to go ahead and force everything either.
And they'll blow that one up back at the 16-yard line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. Out come the Eagles now as they'll go on offense first here in the third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spend the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And a great move on the play as he takes this one past the 25. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and into the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. It'll go as a gain of 6 that time, and it moves the chains as well.
Third quarter, and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Not much there, maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple of yards out of it, because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
On second down, they'll try and run the counter. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. He'll wind up losing 3. And now it's third down.
Wow, that play got shut down in a hurry.
As soon as the snap came, you could see defensively they were just closing in. That was going nowhere.
Yeah, you count on your offensive line to give you a little bit of space, a little bit of time so you can make a move. There was none there for him.
Play action here with Dalton. He's got his man on the crossing route. A good pickup there at 22. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
Takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver, because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just kind of find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
And a give this time to the tailback. And this time not as successful, as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be third down. The Eagles on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. Passing, it's Dalton. And he fires one, but incomplete.
I'm not sure we could spot any tendency here on this third down. They could have run it or passed it. Either one was available. They chose to try and get it through the air, but they were unsuccessful.
He's averaging just under 50 yards a punt as he gets this away. And not what he was hoping for there, as this will hit in the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Redskins offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Here's Cousins. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
It's a lot of contact going on there, and in the end, unable to keep 2 hands on the football and bring it into his body.
Everything looked pretty good until the finish. The Redskins on third down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7. Cousins. And this is going to be incomplete. Another drive comes and goes. Still nothing on the scoreboard.
Yeah, and when the second half comes, you know, it's real easy to get discouraged and wonder if you're ever going to get things started. But you just got to fight through it. Got to keep pounding away.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And no one there to stop it. Hits at the 8, but it carries all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Eagles offense now gets set to head back onto the field. And, you know, their previous possession, they were able to move the football, but still wound up punting in the end.
You know, in 2016, Carolina had a 20-play drive that lasted over 10 minutes. And remember how it ended?
And a punt.
Yeah, I mean, how does that happen? You just don't see that happen every day.
And this one maybe not quite that bad, but still, you'd like to have a chance for points if you hold the football that long.
Agreed.
He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
The tight end changing his position. A handoff as they run the counter play. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, hard to get them started again occasionally.
Third down, a shot here for Dalton. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
Here's Donnie Jones now, as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Well, the drive starts with Rob Kelly. It'll be a pickup of 10 yards. And that'll make it 2nd and a foot or so.
Now, that was an excellent run. And when you see that happen, that's when you're seeing guys doing their job and then some people doing a little bit more. Offensive linemen and tight ends, they're expected to block. But the wide receivers, all they want to do is catch passes. So when they block on a big-time running play and create extra space, you've kind of hit the jackpot there.
The defensive line disperses a little bit here, maybe expecting a pass. On 1st and 10, Cousins. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off at the 40. And he'll score. Touchdown, Eagles. This D wanted to put it away before we even get to the 4th quarter, widening that margin a bit further.
And while they won't just empty the bench just yet, if you're a backup, start loosening up. I think you'll get a chance to play before this one is over now with that type of a cushion.
And checking in on what's going on up in the Meadowlands. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. We'll keep you updated on that one as it progresses. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them that opportunity to maybe wake up everyone else.
And that one incomplete. They try to sneak in a deep ball with the clock running down, but to no avail as time will expire on this 3rd quarter of play. The Redskins on 3rd down. Not good. 0 for 4 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. From the gun, here's Cousins. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden the secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Pulled in at the 24. And when it's said and done, it's a 58-yard punt. And the Eagles will have it, taking over 1st and 10. Here comes Eagle offense now as they get set to take over here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. A gain of 3, 2nd down.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the 4th quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
The Eagles on 3rd down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 11. Now it's the Boise State alum, Jay Ajayi. And they take him down, losing yardage back at the 27. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. Here's Donnie Jones now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Crowder now to return. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And it'll be Redskins football now with a 1st and 10. And here come the Redskins now. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Off the play fake, Cousins. Airing one out for Crowder. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off at the 19. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing them.
Gets it up around the 22, but no further. Did flash the fancy footwork, but not much to show for it. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon's all about pace and tempo now for them. They've got the advantage, so I'm going to put musical terms for you. You don't want to go prestissimo. That's too quick, too lively, right? But you also don't want to slow it down too much. You don't want to go lento. What you really want to be is moderato. Nice and even, nice and steady, get those gains, and close out the game.
Through an opening, and there he goes. Touchdown, Philadelphia. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown of the game, number 9 on the season. And the Eagles continue to roll. And he puts it through. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Redskin offense now as they get set to begin another possession. And last time wasn't pretty. One play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better.
I want to see if they want to go ahead and throw the ball again now on this drive after what happened on the last one. Throw it on the first play. Give the quarterback some confidence.
See what happens. They'll start on the ground with Kelly. And he'll wind up losing yardage here back at the 21-yard line. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up second down.
Brandon, that play typifies what we've seen from the offense all day long. They've had no success getting things going. I think for the offensive coordinator, he's got to go to that side of the play sheet that says, try something different. Try some specials, something they haven't seen all day to try and get this offense kick-started. Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Give him a couple on the run as it brings up a 4th down. Good job there keeping him to a short gain. Of course, he's coming off a really terrific performance, reigning NFC Defensive Player of the Week.
And I know people get caught up in, well, if you're the reigning Defensive Player of the Week, you must have made a bunch of spectacular plays. I think you mixed in a few of those, but most of the plays are just like we saw there. Keep them to short gains, make the fundamental tackle.
And now the punter, Tress Way, as he sends this one away. A good return there, 17 yards. And the Eagles will have great starting field position here as they take over. Now Philadelphia ready to get going on offense again. And Charles, in a very one-sided affair, I think we've reached the point in the broadcast where you and I, we may have some filling to do, right?
Yeah, I think you're right about that because we got to try and keep people around. We don't want them to change the channel. Stay with us in this game. Is that Ben Ramsauer? Are you hearing from Ben on the headset here telling us stretch this thing out a little bit?
Get some talking points. Dig them all out.
That's what you get. A big-time producer. Keep them here.
The play clock's running down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeout in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. And a nice carry there of 15 yards.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the 4th as it was way back in the 1st, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
They run the counter now on 1st down. And a short gain here down to the 22. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Second down following the run.
Let's go!
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd. On this day, the ground has been his, but at least on that individual play, we just saw the defense finally with a win.
Yeah, they finally got one, and that's a win for them, but all game long, he's seen the holes, and they've been huge for him. Kind of like a baseball hitter in the zone. The ball seems bigger, and he's just whacking it. These guys, they got it going today.
Now it's Ajayi, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He lost 2, and it brings up 4th.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be, but we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Around the NFL, they're in the 4th now in Green Bay. Now, you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. A win would be their 2nd on the young season. And Sturgis able to knock it through. And they're sitting pretty now as the lead grows even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the fourth.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Out comes Washington's offense as they get set to take over here. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
And some changes here as the D-line separates some. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for the Eagles, it was a great all-around performance as they come out of this one with the victory. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Seattle Seahawks. Meanwhile, for Washington, they'll fall to 1-1. And they'll have a tough one at home next week against the Green Bay Packers. That'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our hardworking crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, find us on Twitter at EA Madden NFL. With that, we sign off from Landover.